I am at the Valles Caldera National Preserve in New Mexico, a unique and underrated national park site just west of Los Alamos. While it is an expansive preserve with nearly 90,000 acres, today we will just explore the Valle Grande, then look at a few other points of interest near Los Alamos. The Valle Grande is a large grassy valley surrounded by the caldera, located inside what was a giant volcano. So we're now standing inside a dormant volcano. The Valle Grande is an impressive sight to behold. After a series of enormous eruptions about 1 million years ago, the volcano collapsed and this valley was formed in the volcanic caldera here in the Jemez Mountains. The eruptions of this volcano ejected 500 times more material than the 1980 eruptions of Mount St. Helens. The remaining magma formed the dome-like hills surrounding the Valle Grande over time, so this is known as a resurgent dome caldera. Magma was still leaking out as late as 50,000 years ago. There are a bunch of prairie dogs all standing at high alert here in the caldera. It's quite the sight. They are everywhere and totally freaked out. Oh, that's why. There are coyotes running around. We are now at the cabin district inside the caldera, a cluster of historic cabins that were used in the ranching days. 4 different families have owned this valley since an 1860 land grant. It was used for sheep grazing, cattle ranching, sulfur mining, and even geothermal work. Logging was also a prominent industry. By the 1960s, over 25,000 acres had been largely cleared. For a time, this land fell to the wealthy Otero family, and they built this cabin. That is the 1941 commissary cabin. Now let's head into the ranger station to look at some exhibits. There's a taxidermy elk mount inside. Yes, there are elk here at the Valles Caldera. Lots of obsidian was produced by the magma, and people made tools out of the obsidian from the Jemez Mountains. Arrowheads made of Jemez obsidian have been found at prehistoric sites as far away as North Dakota and Mississippi. Pumice, a light and porous volcanic rock, floats in water. I always enjoy seeing tree rings. This tree began its life in 1632, it lived through the Pueblo Revolt and many other historic events, and it died sometime after the 1848 Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo. The Valles Caldera fell under management of the National Park Service in 2015, so it is still a fairly new park. There is an idyllic abandoned cabin located in the caldera all by its lonesome, so let's hike out to it. There are some huge rocks left over here in the middle of the caldera. This is known as the missing cabin. While it appears to be an old pioneer cabin that's been here for a while, it is actually not that old. The cabin was built in recent decades as a film set. This cabin was used as a filming location in The Missing, a 2003 film starring Tommy Lee Jones and Cate Blanchett. It is a western set in 1880s New Mexico territory, directed by Ron Howard. While the film set is a bit run down, I am glad the Park Service has kept it. Just look at the chimney. This is definitely not authentic. The cabin was built in a majestic location. It really doesn't get much better than this. The caldera has been used in more recent films, such as The Magnificent Seven in 2016, as well as the show Longmire. The caldera has had many serious wildfires in recent decades, including ones in 2000, 2011, and another one in 2022. That one burned most of the trees on those hills. The hill in the middle of the caldera is the Cerro La Jara, a rhyolite lava dome that was located near what was the center of the volcano and ground zero for its explosive energy. It looks like there are some mule deer down there. That's neat. The Valles Caldera is an elk mecca here in New Mexico. Unfortunately, they are not out grazing right now, but visitors can often get lucky and see them in this magnificent setting, especially around dusk. Now we are going to depart the Valles Caldera for Los Alamos, but stop at a few viewpoints along the way. The Valles Caldera does have some other interesting sights, including unique rock formations and hot springs on the western side of the preserve. However, that is a good distance away from here, so I will not go all the way out there on this visit. Now we are technically in Bandelier National Monument, but a good distance from Frijoles Canyon, which is the primary location to visit the cliff dwellings. I do have a separate video on Bandelier linked in the description. We have landed at the Pajarito Mountain Ski Area, the local ski hill of Los Alamos. I'm not here to ski obviously, or even to bike or hike, just to get lunch at the cafe and see what it's like. The Pajarito Mountain Ski Slope opened in 1957, although there was a ski patrol group established in 1943 during the Manhattan Project. The current ski lodge building was opened in 1988. There are some antique wooden skis in here. And the cafe is a nice place to eat, surrounded by some great scenery. From here we can get a look over the Los Alamos National Laboratory. Obviously I cannot go in and show any of the buildings up close, but that is one of the most significant laboratories in the world. That is the Omega Bridge, which connects the town to the lab. It spans the canyon that was once home to the Omega West reactor, which was built in 1956 and located just a little farther down the canyon from here. Now we will head on over to White Rock for the sunsets. But first we're going to stop at the Anderson Scenic Overlook, which is located on the historic main road up to Los Alamos. It is a fantastic vantage point from the town that gave nuclear weapons to mankind. That is spectacular, but wait till you see the next one. I have made it to the White Rock Overlook Park just in time for sunsets. This is a majestic vista over the Sangre de Cristos Mountains, which tower over the Rio Grande Valley. That is the Rio Grande River meandering below. That is the Black Mesa in the middle of the valley. It is an isolated volcanic outcropping, considered highly sacred to the San Ildefonso Pueblo and others. In 1694, Pueblo warriors entrenched themselves on its summit to withstand a Spanish siege in the Reconquista after the Pueblo revolts. There is also a series of waterfalls visible from here. Apparently they always run because they're connected to a sewage plant. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please consider taking a look at my other content featuring national parks, historic locations, and much more across the United States and Europe. I do have a video on the history of Los Alamos, as well as the Bradbury Science Museum and Bandelier. Those videos are linked in the description. Also, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to my channel for more. And I want to give a special shout out to those who made this video possible. Thanks for watching!